rethink colour.
So we're back at Project Tortuga, and I just want to mention actually this particular complex are very good when it comes to the winter time and understanding that people are going to be renovating their apartments. So they actually protect the staircase here. I'm stood on the marble staircase that they've protected with wood, and they actually have a separate lift which again they clad out like this, and at this time of year that's for the tradesmen to use and bring their materials in and out. And I just think that it's really great that they make it easier for us and understand the fact that yes, we do need to come and work in here. We are going to be bringing heavy, dusty, messy stuff in through your lovely foyer, but they're giving us a hand and helping to make it easier for us. So full points for this complex. I'm a fan. Let's go and see what's happening in the apartment. So here we are at Project Tortuga, and we're halfway through. The plan and the brief was to lighten and brighten, and you can see we've already done that. So what have we done so far? We've smoothed these walls, got rid of all that bumpiness, so that's looking a lot more fresher, and with a coat of paint that's going to really make a difference. We did have an archway here, we've taken it out and we've straightened those edges as well, so again a little bit more modern. And you might remember we had an archway here as well, and we wanted to open that up as high as possible, and the plan was to come over to this section to really open the kitchen out. Unfortunately, and this often happens when you're doing a renovation, until you actually start demolishing, you don't always know what you're dealing with. And so, hello, somebody working in there. And so, what we found was when we opened up the archway, which was a little bit higher than that, coming round here, we actually had wiring all in the archway, very close to the surface, but completely from this side around and on the other side. And we had a junction box up at the top there that we needed to get rid of. So we had to give our clients two options. Option one, to do what we initially intended, remove all of this and make the opening to the ceiling, to the new ceiling, and back here to the wall of the kitchen, which would involve rewiring all of this side of the apartment and putting in a new junction box with all the cables, etc. And that was obviously going to be a bit more costly than we'd initially anticipated. Or option B, which is the option they chose to go with, was to lower the top of the arch, straighten this and straighten the edge, and leave the wiring in there where it was originally, and literally just give ourselves a new junction box here, lower, because obviously we do need to get to this wiring before we put in our false ceiling. So that's what's happened here. And so we now have to get the painter in. The electrician has already been and put in the new wiring and the new ceiling spots, and my carpenters are here today. We're removing the old door frames and the old doors because we're going to be putting new ones in with new door furniture, and we're going to be renovating that front door area. Okay, so that's as far as we've got today, but I'm really pleased with the progress. It's looking good. It's definitely ticking the box of lighten and brighten, so I'm sure my clients are going to be happy. And next time we come, hopefully we'll be coming to see the painted finish and the new doors. So we're not that far away from completion, and obviously before the clients come out, I'll be bringing in a cleaning team and cleaning up all this dust and mess that we've made. So somebody is going to be on the naughty step today, because that was supposed to be eliminated, got rid of, plastered over. So they'll be coming back to put that right. What else? Also, this up here was obviously the original cover. When the walls were bumpy, it blended in beautifully. But now we are going to change that. It's a cover for a wiring junction box. So we're going to change that to a new one, so that will also be nice and smooth. So a couple of little snagging bits. It's normal, but it has to be done. So I'm not going to be very popular today with my trades, but sometimes you've got to be a bit badass. So this is the new wiring junction box, because previously it was in the corridor and it was, well, it will now be up above our new false ceiling height. So we did have to bring the wires through and do some rewiring for this. We'll paint over that and it will disappear. And we've also smoothed the walls inside here as well as the hallway while we were at it. We don't really want to transition from smooth to bumpy, so we've done that. And the other thing, just to mention to you, as you know, we've put these new spotlights in, which will be obviously in the ceiling when we're finished. But what we did do was we made sure that the light and the bulbs in those lights is the same as the light and the bulbs in the kitchen, because when you've got both on together, you don't want a warm light in one and a cold light in another. So it's something to think about when you're adding some additional lighting, is to make sure that the warmth of the light bulbs is going to match what you've got around, because it's really just not a good feeling when things are different temperatures of light. Okay, so that's a little tip for you today. So this shows the age of this apartment, because as we've removed the old door frames, we can see underneath that they had wallpaper here, and that's not a very common thing in Mallorca. It has become over recent years, so this is going way back when. Quite possibly the original owners of this apartment were also British, because as you know, we've been using wallpaper for years in our homes over there. Anyway, love to see these little things come out and appear when we're working on these jobs. And just quickly before I leave, the carpenters, as you've seen, are busy at work today, and as we're reconditioning this front door, we have removed the moulding from the inside, so this is now flat. We will be removing all the door furniture and changing that for new locks. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a panel on the inside of this door, which will match the other new doors that we're going to have. So we're going to have some horizontal lines on these doors and get rid of these more dated looking panels. And then on the exterior, which we have to keep the same as the rest of the community, we'll be again changing the door furniture, new doorknob, giving it a paint, making sure it looks nice and fresh and new, but it will be the same style as before. So that's how you do it when you've got to keep the community doors, keeping the community happy, but inside you've gone somewhere else. So we then clad the inside to keep that in line with everything else that we're doing, because you don't want to modernise everything or update everything and then have an old crabby door there letting the show down. So that's how we do it. So that's where we are today. I'm going to head back to the office now to meet up with Marisa, because we're working on the interior design and furnishing for another client, and at the end of this week we want to have a meeting with those clients and show them the finishes and paper, plans, etc., moods of what we're going with, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they're going to love it as much as we do. So let's go back. So the beauty of living on this amazing island, hopefully my cameraman has not got his feet wet, I'm okay, is that you can be in the mountains one day and you can be next to the sea another day, actually in the same day. It's all so close. And so I just wanted to take a quick moment between visiting work sites and back to the office to just take in the beauty of this wonderful island and just remember how privileged we are to either live here or have a holiday home here, or even just come and visit. Have a look at that. It's a really windy day today, but it's beautiful, magnificent. And nature really is the boss. There's no 2 days the same when you look out to sea here. Amazing. It's food for the soul. So let's go and find Marisa. She's in here somewhere. She's setting up the samples for me on Project Marina. This is a project that Marisa and I have been working on. We've been giving some consultancy to the clients who are developers because they're doing a renovation, and we're going to be doing the interior design and furnishing. So we've already done the living area. We're just going to go and look over that because we are meeting the clients on Friday and we're going to work on another section. We've kind of been given the go ahead on some things, but we're not just dealing with one client here. So we will be putting together some samples for them, more of the mood board, and meeting them, as I said, on Friday. So Marisa and I are going to get to work on that now. Okay, so that's the kitchen. So these are the kitchen samples, which are a little bit lighter than how it's coming out on the mood board, which I'm quite glad about, actually. I love the bar stool that we've chosen for that.
Yeah, it has matching dining chairs as well, so we can use it because they're right next to each other.
Yeah, that's great. So we want to keep it light, but I don't want everything to just be a white box because this is a modern apartment and you know, straight walls, etc. And it can have that tendency to just turn into you know, just a white stark box with no interest. So I like the fact that we've got some different textures going on in there, and I love, so the client has said yes to the wallpaper, to the mural.
Half of the clients have, half of the clients haven't decided yet. That's why we're having a meeting on Friday.
Okay, well then I'm sure we can convince them because it's going to look fabulous. And the thing is this project is for, you know, it's for a development company and they're going to be selling it. The one thing to remember is that although you don't want to overpower a buyer with too much personality, you want enough so that when they leave after a day or a week's viewing different apartments or different properties, they're going to remember yours. So you need some sort of hook in there. And that's where this mural will come into play, because they can refer to the one with that amazing mural in the entrance. So I'm really hopeful that we will convince both sets to agree to this, because I think it's beautiful. And yeah, then, loving those marble lamps as well.
Yeah, so we can carry through little elements from that throughout. So like the bronze mirror and this vintage green sideboard, and I thought about these cushions.
Yeah, amazing, love them, love them. And I like this because we've got a kind of awkward seating area, haven't we? We want to be facing the television, but we don't necessarily just want a straight sofa facing the television with no social elements. So I love this curve on this sofa, so it's kind of a chaise without being a complete L, because we've got those windows that are going to fold back to make that indoor-outdoor living space really work well. So I think that's a really good solution that we've found there.
It's going to fill this corner quite nicely and make it all quite social, the whole area.
Yeah, and then when these are opened out right out, we've got that indoor-outdoor. So I think that we're ready to start working on the outdoor space now.
Yeah, the outdoor and the bedrooms we need to look at as well.
Okay, great. So let's just leave this here and let's go and have a look at some outdoor.
Start with the terrace.
Yeah, let's go and have a look at samples.
Okay.
Great. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button and leave me a comment. What bits you're liking, what bits you're not liking. Maybe we're showing you too much of something and not enough of something else. We're learning as we go, so please let us know and we will try and give you what you want.
Living life in color.